Welcome to the Audiobook Lovin Series, a month-long event celebrating the authors and narrators that bring romance stories to life. Listen along as Viviana, Enchantress of Books, interviews your favorite writers and voices, shares special guest posts, and stay tuned for some special information at the conclusion of the episode.
Hi, everyone. My name is Connor Brown. That's my romance pseudonym, but I do other books under the name that's mine, God-given, Andrew Werlin. Between Connor and I, we have about 230 or 40 books total out there. And I'm sharing my top 5 reasons why I love being a narrator. Brought to you by Audiobook Lovin host, Viviana, Enchantress of Books. So as a narrator, under Andrew, I do all kinds of books. Under Connor Brown, I pretty much do romance. But the reasons are all the same. So let's go with reason number 1. It's the art of storytelling. I love telling stories. I love being the guy who just helps bring people into a different world, including myself. It's fun. I enjoy it. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that helps people get through their commute or a run or whatever. I listen to audiobooks when I run, so I understand that. My commute's short. I'm lucky. So that's reason 1. Number 2, I have a face for radio. Been married almost over 25 years. 2 kids, one about to graduate high school. One will graduate next year. I'm not ugly, but I have a voice for this. I don't have a face for it. I'm not going to be the guy doing Grey's Anatomy, doing brain surgery. So that's the other reason I love it, because I can hide behind this mic and be me and bring people into a world of horror or romance. It all depends. But they don't have to see me. That's reason number 2. Reason number 3 is that the community of audiobook narrators is really awesome. I've been doing this for about 9 years. I'm into my 10th year, actually. And I do it part-time. I have a full-time job. It's okay. I love it. I used to love it. Now it's, I'm getting to the end, so I'm trying to get that pension. But over the time I've been in the audiobook world, meeting people in person, as somebody who's been nominated for several independent audiobook awards over the last few years, and then online and in other ways through training and classes and stuff like that. It really is a good group of people. We can cut politics out of it. They're just genuinely nice folks who care about each other, who want to help each other. And we're really not cutthroat. At least in my opinion, we're not. We don't try to hurt each other or take business away from somebody or bemoan somebody else's success. When somebody's successful in this world, we're thrilled for them because that means that's an opportunity that we could probably have too. So the community of audiobooks is just wonderful. And that's voiceover in general, I think. I do mostly audiobooks, but I'm trying to do other stuff. But, ooh, you hear the paper? That's paper. Paper in my hand. I got to keep track or I'll forget. The next thing I have on here, number 4, is I get to be somebody else. Audiobooks are great because I get to live in another universe for a while. And as a guy who does both post-apocalyptic mystery thriller sci-fi stuff in one universe and romance in another, I can be anybody. Sometimes I get to have sex with beautiful women or wonderful men. It all depends, in the romance world. And my wife's okay with it because it brings in the green. And that's fine. Or I'm living in a horrifying universe where everybody's dead and there's only a few of us left. Or I'm out in space battling aliens trying to kill us all. Being an audiobook narrator is just like when you read a book. You get to live in that world, right? Like Harry Potter, right? Everybody who hasn't read Harry Potter. Well, Stephen King said that Harry Potter is one of the greatest stories ever written, right? And I think he's right. It's just a happy, wonderful universe of good and bad, right and wrong, and friends and loyalty. It's just getting to read these stories for you, the listener, for me, is just wonderful. It puts me in a different universe and it makes me feel like I'm doing something special for you. So just getting to be somebody else, acting a fool, being that sexy guy, that's great. I love it. That's the 4th reason. And the 5th reason is really practical. It's because I get to do it at home. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm recording this from my home studio. I think it sounds pretty good, right? And someday I'm going to get a better one. But right now, this is pretty good. And I can be in here in my underwear if it's hot. I don't do that, but I could be. Barefoot, in shorts, in pajamas, early in the morning, late at night. As long as I have quiet in my little room here, in my little booth, I can be at home making decent money, on top of my normal job salary, reading books. There's work involved, but I get to read books. I get to sit here. Actually, I stand, and I get to just enjoy the story and tell it to you as if I'm sitting at a campfire out in the woods somewhere in Montana with s'mores in hand, and I'm relating to you a story about ghosts or about some time travel or some battle of enemies in the universe or the living dead taking over the country and the world, or two people who love each other who get together after so much up and down. All that. That's what I like to do. So those are my reasons. I love it. I've done it. I will keep doing it. I'm a proud member of SAG-AFTRA. And as long as I can keep telling these stories to entertain folks, I'm going to keep doing it. And I appreciate everyone who's a fan of mine, and I appreciate everyone who listens to audiobooks of all kinds by anybody, because you folks are the ones who keep us in business. Thanks. And thanks to Viviana for giving me the time to say this and let you know how I feel. Take care.
The Audiobook Lovin podcast has special Patreon incentives. Join today to receive early access to podcast episodes, exclusive content with our guests, and much more. Support the podcast by becoming a Patreon at www.patreon.com/audiobooklevin. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining us on the Audiobook Lovin Series, hosted by Viviana, Enchantress of Books. We hope you have enjoyed this episode as well as the series. We've included audio samples of our guests' work within the post for you to check out. Please make sure to visit the main page, link within the post, to learn more about the series, the authors, and the narrators. Please consider leaving a review wherever you listen to this series if you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms and subscribe to the Viviana, Enchantress of Books newsletter. Until next time, happy listening. Audiobook Lovin hopes you've enjoyed this program.